I generally like to be positive when I'm talking about games, and if I have to be negative, I'll give it the old compliment sandwich. Or is it insult sandwich? You know, the one where you layer the positives and the negatives so you're not just ranting the whole time. Like a compliment complaint parfait, which we can shorten to CCP. Like a compliment complaint parfait, which we can't shorten, so let's just move on.
Parfaits are delicious.
But Scarlet's Salvation, it's just not that good. Well, okay, if this were an indie game developed by 1 or 2 people, I'd say it's an admirable effort. It's not bad per se, but it is lacking, and that can be overlooked if it were a passion project from one guy being sold for $10. Scarlet's Salvation though, it had a whole team and idea factory behind it. It's not like I don't have anything positive to say, because I do. The problem is I don't have a whole lot to say about it in general, because there's not a lot here. It's anime Returnal. I can't really be any more concise than that. It's a third-person shooter roguelite. You fight your way through floors of weak enemies in the pursuit of upgrades until eventually you're faced with a big bad boss. If you die at any point, you lose some of those upgrades and have to start over at the beginning. But what puts the anime in anime Returnal? That's easy. It has classic anime style graphics and a signature battle damage feature that slowly reveals what is under Willow's armor. But we'll get back to that in a minute, because you're probably wondering who or what a Willow is. Willow is the main character, and I say that as if there are others. Willow's the one you control. She wakes up in a big nondescript pod thing with few memories of who she is or how she ended up here. But thankfully she's guided through the facility by an AI. And that wraps up all the characters. Yes, it is just Willow and the AI that is little more than a disembodied voice. The story is carried out by conversations that happen between Willow and the AI while you're playing. The voice acting is actually a huge highlight in this game.
I never expected something like this to be here.
There are only 2 of them, and you're not going to find a magnum opus of literary genius in the writing, but these 2 VAs are doing the best they can with what they're given. Which is a little surprising, because I've yet to find the 2 English VAs credited for this anywhere. I have no idea who they are. But come on and tell me the AI isn't Alex Lee.
There are a few in the sections we've passed. It's a system that doesn't unlock unless all the keys are collected.
And you didn't tell me sooner? Why?
You didn't ask, did you?
Ah yes, the signature battle damage feature. It's certainly here, it's a thing that exists, but it may as well not. Yeah, you get hit and some pieces of armor break off, and then big chunks are torn off the bodysuit to reveal, well, fuck all. Now, I'm not saying that I would have enjoyed this game more if it went full Guna and stripped Willow down into a variety of skimpy underwear and nipple tassels, but if they did embrace this feature beyond the surface level, Scarlet's Salvation probably would have found an audience. They pushed the battle damage feature in the limited marketing this game had, but you're not going to cultivate the audience you're looking for with a fleeting glimpse at some granny panties. Yes. I have no idea.
All of a sudden you get that.
I did say earlier that I didn't have much to say. The gameplay is the only significant thing left, and I don't have much on that either, so here's the Cliff Notes version. The game plays fine. It's a third-person shooter, you can equip 2 different guns and switch between them, and you've also got a melee attack. The problem is that it lacks variety. There are seemingly less than a dozen different guns, and the only other upgrade comes in the form of passive skills. You start with just 1 skill slot, which eventually maxes out to 4. The enemies, the visuals, and the random map are all incredibly repetitive and exceedingly boring. Boss fights are okay, but there are only 3 bosses and you'll have to fight them multiple times, because once you make it all the way to the end, you'll get sent back to the beginning after some additional story happens, only this time the enemies will be a little harder and the bosses will have an additional phase with a new mechanic. The soundtrack is forgettable, the overall sound design is quite basic, with the only auditory highlight being the voice acting which I mentioned earlier. And that's it, that's Scarlet's Salvation. There's a decent enough foundation here, but they haven't really built much on top of it. They laid a concrete slab, and then put a pillow fort on top. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.